Use secrets. Leverage unique knowledge for advantage. In 0 to 1, Peter Thiel and Blake Masters introduce a compelling concept: the power of secrets. But don't get it twisted. We're not talking about hush-hush, confidential stuff. No, we're talking about the undiscovered, the uncharted, the yet to be known. Think about it like this. Electricity was always there, right? But it took curious minds like Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Edison to dig deep, to uncover its secrets, and to harness its power. That's the kind of secrets Thiel and Masters are talking about. The unknown truths and untapped potentials that can lead to game-changing innovations. Now, you might be thinking, but haven't we discovered everything already? Thiel and Masters would say, not by a long shot. They challenge this complacency, urging us to keep exploring, keep discovering. There are always more secrets out there just waiting to be found. This idea is especially relevant for startups and entrepreneurs. In a world where many businesses are just copying successful models, Thiel and Masters urge entrepreneurs to venture into the unknown, to find the secrets that can lead to unique and innovative solutions. That's the real key to building a successful future. But here's the kicker. Once you've discovered a secret, you've got to be careful who you share it with. Why? Because the power of a secret lies in its exclusivity. Once it's out in the open, it loses its potential for creating a unique advantage. So, what's the takeaway? Keep exploring, keep discovering. Challenge the status quo and venture into the unknown. Find those unique insights and ideas that can lead to game-changing innovations. And once you've found them, use them wisely and share them sparingly to maintain their unique value. Point 9, foundations. A strong base is key for success. In the world of startups, the beginning is everything. It's like laying the foundation for a house. If you mess up the foundation, the whole house could come tumbling down. The same goes for startups. The decisions you make at the start can make or break your venture. Choosing a co-founder is one of the first and most important decisions you'll make. It's like choosing a spouse. You need trust, respect, and a shared vision. If you pick the wrong person, you could end up in a world of conflict and disagreement, which could spell disaster for your startup. So, choose wisely. Look at their skills, their values, and how well they align with your vision. Building the right team is just as crucial. You need a clear structure and well-defined roles. Creativity and innovation are great, but without structure, you'll have chaos. So, set up a clear hierarchy and division of responsibilities. Now let's talk about control, possession, and ownership. The owner of a startup has possession and ownership, but control usually lies with the board. This can sometimes lead to disagreements. To avoid this, keep your board small. 3 members are ideal, 5 is the maximum. A smaller board can make decisions faster and manage conflicts better. And don't outsource. Have a full-time, dedicated team. When everyone is working towards the same goal, there's a greater sense of unity and commitment. As the saying goes, you're either on the bus or off the bus. The CEO's role is vital. A CEO who takes a modest salary is more likely to be committed to the startup success. This sets a good example for the rest of the team, encouraging them to put the startup success before personal gain. Compensation is another key factor. Cash can motivate employees in the short term, but it can distract them from the long-term success of the startup. Offering stock options can give employees a sense of ownership and commitment. But be careful. You don't want to create hostility and jealousy among your team. Lastly, keep a culture of innovation and openness. Make these values a part of your startup from the start. As Bob Dylan said, those who aren't busy being born are busy dying. By fostering a culture of continuous innovation and growth, you can ensure your startup's long-term success and sustainability. Point 10, mafia mechanics. A loyal, united team is crucial. In Peter Thiel's world, building a successful team isn't about traditional hiring practices. It's about creating a mafia. But don't worry, we're not talking about organized crime here. We're talking about a group of like-minded individuals who are passionate about the same things and enjoy each other's company. This idea comes from Thiel's time at PayPal, where he led a team that later went on to start big-name companies like YouTube, LinkedIn, and Tesla Motors. This group, known as the PayPal Mafia, wasn't put together based on resumes or job interviews. Instead, Thiel focused on building a team that shared common interests and got along well. This is a big shift from the usual way of hiring, where you look at a candidate's qualifications and past experience. Thiel believes that what really matters is team chemistry and shared values. When you're hiring, he says, think about it from the potential employee's point of view. Sure, a good salary, opportunities for growth, and the chance to work with talented people are important, but they're not unique. Almost every company offers these things. So how do you attract the right people? Thiel suggests highlighting what makes your company special. Maybe it's your mission, your approach to solving problems, or your work culture. The goal isn't to attract people who just want a job with good perks. You want people who are excited about your vision and want to help make it a reality. But it's not just about hiring the right people. Thiel also stresses the importance of having a team that works well together. He suggests hiring people who share similar interests or values. This can help create a sense of camaraderie and improve how the team works together. For example, if everyone on the team loves comic books, they'll likely bond over this shared interest, making for a more harmonious work environment. Finally, Thiel emphasizes the need to clearly define everyone's roles. This can help avoid conflicts and competition within the team, as everyone knows what they're responsible for and what their areas of expertise are. Internal conflict can be a big problem for a startup, as it can take focus away from the company's goals and slow down progress. So, in a nutshell, Thiel's Mechanics of Mafia is all about building a strong, cohesive team that shares a common vision. It's about creating a unique company culture that attracts passionate people and clearly defining roles to avoid internal conflict. This approach to team building and management played a big role in the success of PayPal and the companies that the PayPal Mafia later founded. Point 11. Build it, will they come? Validate market demand first. Build it and they will come. A phrase that's often thrown around in the startup world. But is it really that simple? Not quite. Just because you've created a fantastic product or service doesn't mean it's going to be an instant hit. There's a lot more to it than that. Let's talk about sales. Sales are the lifeblood of any business. Without them, your business is a goner. But how do you make sales? That's where distribution comes in. Distribution is all about getting your product or service into the hands of your customers. It's not just about physically getting it there, but also how it's presented, marketed, and sold. A lot of startups, especially in the tech world, tend to underestimate the importance of distribution. They're so focused on creating an amazing product that they assume customers will just come flocking. But without a solid distribution network, even the best products can fall flat. Imagine a company that's created a product that's pretty much the same as its competitors. But if this company has a killer sales and distribution network, it can dominate its market. That's the power of distribution and why it's so important to invest in it. So how do you know if your distribution is working? There are two key metrics to look at: customer lifetime value, CLV, and customer acquisition cost, CAC. CLV is how much profit you can expect to make from a customer over the course of your relationship. CAC is how much it costs you to get a new customer. To be successful, your CLV needs to be higher than your CAC. And let's not forget about salespeople. They're not just there to convince customers to buy a product. They're like actors, making their work seem effortless. But behind the scenes, they're working hard to close deals and generate sales. Different products also require different sales strategies. If you're selling a product that costs $1,000, you're not going to want a huge sales team. You'll want to focus on reaching your target market, which is likely to be small business owners, through more targeted marketing strategies. So, in a nutshell, creating a great product isn't enough. You also need to invest in effective distribution and marketing strategies to make sure your product gets into the hands of your customers. You need to understand the importance of sales, measure your distribution effectiveness through CLV and CAC, and use the right marketing strategies for your product. Point 12, man and machine. Use tech to enhance human capabilities. Peter Thiel, the brain behind PayPal, has a unique perspective on the future of artificial intelligence, AI. Unlike his peer Elon Musk, Thiel is optimistic about AI. He sees humans and machines as partners, each with their own strengths, working together to shape the future. Let's take pattern recognition as an example. A toddler can easily spot a cat, but a machine would need to crunch through gigabytes of data to do the same. This shows that humans have an edge in areas like intuitive understanding and quick pattern recognition, areas where machines, despite their number crunching prowess, still struggle. Thiel's belief in the partnership between humans and machines isn't just theoretical, it's practical. During his PayPal days, Thiel and his team built a fraud detection system that combined human and machine strengths. The system used anomaly detection statistics, a process driven by machines, to flag suspicious transactions. These flagged transactions were then reviewed by a human, who used their judgment to determine if the transaction was indeed fraudulent. The human's feedback was then fed back into the software, creating a continuous learning loop. This is what's known as a human-in-the-loop AI solution, where human judgment and machine processing power work together towards a common goal. Thiel's new venture, Palantir, is another testament to this human-machine partnership. Palantir is trying to bridge the gap between two national security approaches, the human-centric approach of the CIA and the machine-centric approach of the NSA. Palantir is developing a hybrid approach that uses AI and machine learning, ML, techniques to gather and analyze data, but relies on human analysts to provide explanations and unique insights. This approach combines the data processing capabilities of machines with the interpretive skills of humans, creating a more effective and efficient system. In Thiel's eyes, machines aren't a threat to humans, but a tool that can empower us. He believes that we shouldn't fear AI, but instead ask ourselves, how can computers help us solve hard problems? This question shifts the focus from the potential dangers of AI to its potential benefits, and encourages us to think about how we can best utilize this technology to our advantage. Point 13, seeing green, align with sustainability for competitive edge. The dawn of the 21st century saw a surge in green tech or clean tech companies. These firms, dedicated to creating clean, sustainable energy, drew in billions in investments. Yet, many stumbled and fell. The reasons behind their failures offer valuable insights for budding startups. One of the main reasons these companies didn't make it was because their technology wasn't significantly superior to their competitors. For a startup to thrive, it needs to have a unique technology that's at least 10 times better than its nearest competitor. Why? Because a product that's only marginally better might not be enough to persuade customers to abandon a product they're already comfortable with. In the case of these clean tech companies, their products were only about twice as good as their competitors, and sometimes they weren't even that good. Another pitfall was their misjudgment of timing. They anticipated solar technology to skyrocket just like computer technology did. But solar technology has been around for ages and its progress has been sluggish. On the other hand, computer technology has always evolved rapidly. So it's vital for startups to grasp the growth rate of the industry they're entering and adjust their expectations accordingly. These clean tech companies also failed to carve out a monopoly. In a competitive market, profits are slim. Hence, startups need to highlight their uniqueness and create a product that can thrive in a monopoly. To achieve this, they need to have a profound understanding of the industry they're in. The leadership of these clean tech companies was another stumbling block. The people at the helm of a startup should be product experts like engineers, not salespeople. Moreover, distribution is just as crucial as the product. Startups need to identify the right distribution channel and communicate effectively with their customers. Longevity is another key to success. Startups should aim to be the last mover in the market, planning for the next 20 years or more, and anticipating market changes. Keeping secrets is also vital. Big companies have success secrets that their competitors don't see. Therefore, startups should keep their secrets close to their chest. The notion of doing something good for society is misguided. Instead, startups should aim to do something different. This way, society will reap more benefits from it. Despite the failure of many clean tech companies, Tesla, a clean tech company, has found success. This proves that the concept of clean tech wasn't the issue. The problem was how the clean tech startups managed their businesses. Therefore, by learning from the mistakes of the clean tech companies, other startups can boost their chances of success. Point 14, Founder's Paradox. Be flexible, yet hold strong convictions. In Peter Thiel's exploration of the unique world of startup founders, he introduces us to the concept of the founder's paradox. This is a fascinating look at the unusual position these individuals often find themselves in. First off, Thiel makes it clear that founders are a breed apart. They possess traits that are rare in the general population. These traits aren't evenly distributed, but are found at the extreme ends of the spectrum. In other words, the qualities that make a founder successful are often outliers, not the norm. Take, for instance, the financial situation of a founder. They're often cash poor, with little in the way of liquid assets or ready cash. Why? Because they poured most of their money into their startup. But at the same time, they're incredibly wealthy in terms of their company's equity. If their startup hits it big, they stand to make a fortune. This strange state of being both poor and rich simultaneously is a key part of the founder's paradox. Then there's the public's view of founders. They're seen as both heroes and villains. They're admired for their innovative ideas and their ability to build successful companies from nothing. But they can also be viewed as villains due to their quirks and the risks they take. Take Richard Branson, the man behind the Virgin Group. He started his business young and has become one of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. But he's also known for his eccentric behavior and unconventional business methods. Another part of the founder's paradox is the risk of becoming a scapegoat. When a company does well, the founder is often hailed as a genius. But when things go south, the founder is often the first to be blamed. It's a bit like being a celebrity, where success brings praise, but failure brings criticism. Thiel also warns founders about the danger of becoming too self-absorbed or arrogant. This can lead to bad decisions and, ultimately, the failure of the company. In a nutshell, the founder's paradox is a complex concept that captures the unique challenges and rewards of being a startup founder. Understanding this paradox can give us valuable insights into the world of entrepreneurship and the brave souls who dare to dive into it. Point 15. Conclusion. Innovation is the key to creating a successful startup and building the future. It's not about improving on what already exists, but about creating something entirely new, going from 0 to 1. This requires a unique perspective and the courage to challenge conventional wisdom. Monopolies, contrary to popular belief, are good for society as they drive progress by investing in long-term projects and research. Competition, on the other hand, can lead to stagnation. Therefore, strive to build a monopoly by creating a product that is so superior that no other company can offer a close substitute. Sales and distribution are just as important as the product itself. Even the most revolutionary product won't sell if people don't know about it. Therefore, every startup should have a strong sales strategy. Lastly, the most successful companies are those that can predict and shape the future. This requires a clear vision and the ability to think independently. It's not about following trends, but about creating them. In conclusion, building a successful startup and shaping the future requires innovation, a monopoly mindset, a strong sales strategy, and the ability to predict and shape the future. Enjoyed this book? Let others in on the journey. Great ideas are worth spreading.